Okay, so this was an interesting installation of anvil-app-server. This little machine is somewhere between 15 and 20 years old, is originally running Windows XP, and it's been repurposed with a version of Q4S, which is, in this case, a 32-bit version of Linux. And you can see here I went originally to install anvil-app-server, but we have failed to start the postgres database. One of the reasons you may want to use a different install of Postgres with Anvil is so that you can choose the version that you want to use. So you want to run through updating your repository of apps and then installing Postgres SQL. And so you can see here at the command prompt, I just saved the history here so you can see it. I went ahead and did that. I copied everything in verbatim, just as you saw there, and I had already done this once, so I didn't go through with the install. But then, let's see, the next step is to run PSQL. So this is exactly as you see in the instructions here. Run PSQL. And we send some commands basically to set a username and password to create the database, and to give permissions to the user, and then that \q exits. So I have that here in this instance of PSQL. So you can see I already actually did create this once. And then at that point, I open this up in another console so we could save the history here, and you'll see ran that same app server using exactly the instructions you see in the cheat sheet, only we changed the server to, wow, look at that, local host, and set up the database exactly as you see in the instructions. So here, I removed in these instructions the dependency ID because we're not using anvil-app-server here, but this is what's being run at the console. And again, this is a very, very old machine, decade and a half to 2 decades old, and was originally running Windows XP, to give you an idea of how old the machine was. Again, this is Q4OS 32-bit. So let's see here. Ran it, and this time it went ahead and used that other install of Postgres, did the migration, and now we've got that running on the localhost. Go back into our browser, and here it is. That is the app running on localhost, port 2121. Got the login screen, and it is fully functional. So pretty impressive where you can get Anvil installed, and it works pretty nicely. The performance is good in relation to all the other apps running on this old machine.